Christianity is not just emotional. Don't, think, just feel. It's not just volitional. Don't feel, just do. It's rational. It's think, or really we feel first actually. Feel, think, and then do. And that's how you experience good news. Faith and thinking go together. There is this lie that says faith equals turn your brain off, which is why for the most part the church has lost intellectual people. Because they come to church and they go, they just told me to turn my brain off. That's not how the world works. That's not how my profession works. That's not how human beings work. No. Jesus himself said to the disciples, "O ye of little faith," Matthew chapter 6. And then you know what he said? Study the birds. Study them. Look at them. Look at the flowers. Draw deductions and implications by the way the Father takes care of them, and then go, hey, if he does that for them, what will he do for me? If God takes care of the birds of the air, what's he going to do for me? That's thought. Jesus seems to be saying in that passage and throughout his ministry, little faith equals little thought. Martin Luther, one of the leaders of the Protestant Reformation, says one of my most favorite things. He says a lot of good stuff. He says some crazy stuff, but this is good. He says the truth of the gospel is the most principal article of the Christian faith. He says, most necessarily it is then that we know the gospel well, teach it to others, and beat it into our head continually. You have to beat the truth into your head. Your whole life says, perform, then you're accepted. Your whole life says, have your own little morality and then judge everyone who's not as good as you. Your whole life says, you know what? It's your truth, but don't make it somebody else's truth. You have to beat the truth into your head. You have to beat the news into your heart. Richard Lovelace, who was a professor for years at a seminary in Boston, Gordon Conwell, says the main problem then in the Christian life is that we have not thought out the deep implications of the gospel. We have not used the gospel on all parts of our life. So the problem is not that we just need some mystical thing happen to us most of the time. The problem is we need to think through the experience we've already had. A lot of you are going, if I could just have an experience with God, if I could just have this awesome thing with God. God does amazing, awesome things through experiences. But most of the time, he wants us to think through the experience we've already had. Think it through. That's how you experience the gospel, the good news.